Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar. Today this should probably be the second upload. Rarely am I a second upload kind of guy. Usually when I make these quick and dirty videos, it's to update you on something serious or something incredibly stupid. Now ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to make this video because, I'm not a smart individual, never have I claimed to be an intellectual person, but I really think I've done some of the dumbest shit that I've ever done today. Now, in the next few weeks, I'm doing things like virus investigations. I'm actually covering strains of malware, and strains of malware that come out from the FBI, the NSA, the Russian government pretending to be Ukraine. You can go on and off, all right? Even North Korean stuff, Chinese malware, state level. And, the reality of all this is this stuff is very intricately, very, very well written, And I've always really said in virus investigation videos, leave this to somebody that knows what they are doing, okay? Because when you run computer viruses on your system without actually knowing what you're doing, you risk not only infecting yourself, but everybody else connected on your network. And usually if you get infected with something really, really serious, anybody can tell you once that's flipping around and swimming through your network like herpes, okay? Or like an STD. All right, like a digital transmitted disease, then because that's literally what it is. Okay, it takes a lot of time to get back to square one. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this has been my reading material the whole day. The Arch Linux installation page. Now, you might be like, well, Muda, Arch Linux, yes, I am an Arch Linux user, okay? I do, in fact, like using the Linux from the Arch people. And I was just basically reimaging my whole damn system today. Every computer in my house, servers, you name it. Simply because today I decided, well, not today, a few days ago, I decided to run malware that, frankly, I wasn't paying too much attention to. Now, whole story goes like this. I was watching an episode of Better Call Saul, rewatching the show. Great show indeed. And normally I keep my virtual machines up in tabs, usually when I'm testing malwares, creating checkpoints, sort of for the video, right? Like, generally when I film a video, it's like a 20, 30-minute affair. I generally make checkpoints in a virtual machine or virtual machines so that I can just quickly go boom, 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 boom in the middle of recording. You know what I mean? Because if you don't actually do that, you're going to be sitting there wasting hours of your life recording Windows installations and like the boring fluff stuff out of it, okay? I just like to go from checkpoint to checkpoint. Helps me get more engaged in the content, film it better, and edit it, okay? That's just where it comes down to. Now, in the middle of all these, I launched a virtual machine that I pretty much use for actual private stuff. Nothing super duper serious, generally for web browsing and file transfers between a virtual machine to my host Arch system. Now, in this system, I actually mounted my host operating system's hard drive, basically the motherload, if you will, right? The origin point, the secret fucking KFC sauce, if you will. And because I had this mounted, I launched a piece of really degenerate ransomware. And within, I would say, 40 seconds, every single file that I had, every single thing that I was working on was encrypted and sent off. Now, this video would be pretty sad, and I'd have a goddamn monitor with a fist shoved through it if I didn't actually have proper backup. So before anybody wonders, did I lose every single important thing to me? I usually have a good cloud solution in my actual basement right now where I back up everything in my system, every, like other day. Not like every day, but every other day it typically creates an image of my system. So maximum, I lose things from like a period of like 0 to almost like, 24, 25 hours, so to speak. Or 36 hours. It's not really something that's going to absolutely cost me or throw me away. I keep pretty good backups and I'm pretty good with that stuff, especially after the last time I lost all of my data due to an improper backup solution. And the other big question before somebody asks is, why would I create a virtual machine if I'm still sharing all of my host personal information with that system? Typically, I create like these machines on the purpose of like using them for like gaming. So for instance, if I download like a 100 gigabyte game, like a Cyberpunk, for instance, and I want to get access to special features that I can only get access through the Windows, graphic APIs or passing an actual GPU through that because they're part of like Windows drivers, then I just like immediately share that Linux game that I have to the Windows partition and just launch it instead of downloading 200 gigabytes when I could just use half the space in general. It's just a quick and dirty way for me to share a game between like multiple OS. And that also applies to programs that I use like all the time between different systems anyways. Instead of downloading gigabytes of the same thing, just use one program across different systems. And ransomware isn't the thing that It usually scares me. If you can pick up a decryption key or something beforehand, you can typically reverse a process. But when it hits your host system like that, and you're in the middle of watching Better Call Saul and no other program launches, nothing is happening, and you've went tits up, that's when you know it's all over at that point. Now, one of the things that was freaking me out was I was dealing with so much like intricate level malware that I had to start looking around all over my house. So I basically spent the better part of 48 hours just trying to fix a mistake that ultimately was like running through my house like a digital form of herpes. And at that point, I can finally safely say that I am actually clean. I just finished reimaging the system, reinstalling every game, reinstalling every single thing in my computer, all the editing software. Took a whole goddamn 48 fucking hours. But we're here, ladies and gentlemen. And again, it's to prove that whenever you're running things like computer viruses, or malware in question, or really anything shady off the internet, if something really nasty is like lurched in within it, well, it can absolutely cause pandemonium and mayhem for basically eternity, unless you know exactly what you're doing. Yeah, I was the real dumbass that decided to launch ransomware as my actual main drive was connected. I'll be real, it was like a real System32 moment. You know when you delete System32, you run sudo rmrf, alright, just tell your whole goddamn system to delete everything off of the computer? That's what it ultimately really felt like. Now, the other big scary aspect of it was some of this malware also included things that were similar to like Cobalt Strike. So ladies and gentlemen, if you don't remember what I'm talking about, this is like remote access trojaning. Yeah, I was a guy that was running like, I guess NSA level, like, or I believe the NSA's variant of their Cobalt Strike onto my system. So for a brief period of time, some dude at Fort Meade was actually looking through some dipshit system. It's a wild day indeed, and I wanted to make this video to sort of like be a reminder, all right, to do better, all right, to also publicly embarrass myself in the grand scheme of the world out here, and also really remind you that no matter what you are, no matter what's happening, you can always, and I mean always, find some way to, some capacity to screw yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, I let malware run on my system, and I spent the last 2 days paying the goddamn price for it. You ever wonder, wow, Muda, you look like shit. What's happened with your eyes? They're sunken in. Well, hey, I do have sleep paralysis issues still, alright? I don't sleep in Minecraft as much as I used to, but generally when I do dumb shit like this, I lose 2 days of my goddamn life and a whole lot of sleep over this. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you had a laugh at my failure. I'm gonna go, sit back, relax, and play some Half-Life Alyx or something. Because I gotta find something to de-stress. I'm looking at command terminals all goddamn day, and let me tell you, it ain't fun. Ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mudahar, and if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.